Hello, and a very warm welcome to the Musical Museum channel. This video is one of a series of behind-the-scenes, in-depth looks at some of our unusual instruments and exhibits. Our museum tells the story of how music was captured and reproduced before modern technology enabled live sound recording and playback to become commonly available. Much of our collection is devoted to mechanical music, methods of storing music and replaying it using real, physical instruments. Examples of this can be found in everything from tiny music boxes to very large pipe organs. The subject of this video is a wonderful example containing many aspects of mechanical music technology. Created in 1913 by the Mills Novelty Company of Chicago, the Mills Violano Virtuoso is a combination of self-playing piano and violin. That is, all the sound it makes is created by real physical instruments and not imitations. There are no speakers, tapes, discs or amplifiers. The Musical Museum is lucky enough to have two examples in our care, one of which is currently undergoing maintenance in our workshop, which gives us a rare opportunity to see inside the mechanism and get a glimpse into how it works. Many early mechanical musical devices relied on some combination of clockwork, weights and air pressure to operate, like music boxes or player pianos. The Mills mechanism, as found on the Violano Virtuoso, was the first to use electricity for all aspects of its operation, from reading the paper music roll on which the melodies were stored to striking the hammers of the piano action. The example you see here is a double-violano. It contains two violins and a 44-note piano. They are quite rare. Mills only produced around 200 of these, and they were leased out as commercial, coin-operated attractions for use in hotels, bars and other public venues. We also have an example equipped with a single violin, and that's the one we'll hear and see working in this video. Mills spent millions of dollars developing the complex mechanisms that enable the violins to play. Created by H.K. Sandell, an inventor employed by Mills in the early 1900s, the Mills Novelty Company took out over 100 patents to protect their invention, which they stamped on the case of every self-playing violin mechanism. And they were right to do so. Nothing quite like it had ever been seen before. Indeed, the US Patent Office declared the Mills Violano one of the 8 greatest inventions of the decade, a fact which you can see they proudly displayed inside the casework. Each violin was custom made in Mills' Chicago factory. Made out of maple and spruce, they were effectively copies of a Stradivarius violin. Each one's unique, with a serial number engraved on the neck, as you can see here. The piano, with its strings, sounding board and driving solenoids, is attached to the rear of the instrument, and it is uniquely laid out. A piano typically has the long strings on one side and the shorter ones on the other side, going from low notes to high notes in the same order as the keys on a piano keyboard. The Mills piano, however, has the long bass strings in the middle and the shorter treble strings on either side. This avoids the need for the strings to cross over each other and also distributes the tension of the strings evenly across the plate, which helps the piano to stay in tune for longer, an important factor for a commercial coin-operated machine. This does have the consequence of making the layout of the strings unlike any other instrument, and so Mills provided a helpful guide to aid the perplexed piano tuner. The music is stored as a pattern of holes punched into a roll of paper. We'll have a more detailed explanation of paper music in an upcoming video, but for now all you need to know is that the original music was played by hand using a recording device that cuts holes into a master copy, and then multiple copies of this were then produced. Each roll contains a number of tunes which play one after the other, stopping after each tune. Mills produced a monthly bulletin which was sent to every Violano customer that listed the new selections that were available, and a small extra charge was made for each new roll, with different subscription plans and charges being available to keep each customer up to date with the latest styles in classical, dance and popular music. When a coin is fed into the machine, the cylinder containing the roll of paper music starts to turn. A wire brush passes over the paper, and when there's a perforation in the paper, the brushes make electrical contact. This allows current to flow through one of the many solenoids, or small electromagnets, which pull down when electricity is applied to them, and these drive all the different actions of the machine. The violin is played by driving small, flexible celluloid wheels against the strings. The wheels are constantly rotating, so the violin will play as long as the wheel is held against the string. There are 4 strings and 4 wheels, so 4 notes can be played at once. There are metal fingers under the strings at the neck end of the violin, one for every note on each string, and there's a vibrato magnet which gives a realistic wobble to the notes that are played. There's even a little box of rosin, the stuff that violinists use to create friction between their bow and the strings, that drops down onto the wheels at the start of each song. For maintenance, you can cause each string to play by pressing these buttons, but as you can see there are no tuning pegs. Instead, the strings are held under constant tension by weights, and this helps to keep the violin stable and in tune for long periods of time. Now, whether you love or hate the sound of the violano virtuoso, it takes its place in history as one of the most unique ways in which you could hear popular music without playing an instrument yourself or paying somebody else to. Of course, these machines were rapidly replaced by gramophones, jukeboxes, and now of course most of us can summon a tune or two whenever we like on our mobile phones. However, in an era before that technology had been invented, self-playing instruments brought music reproduction into public spaces and homes across the world. And we'll explore another of these remarkable devices in the next video, so please do subscribe to our channel to see more. For now, and if you have been, from the Musical Museum in London, thanks for watching.